again, this is Jove from JOV'S Online TV. And once again, welcome to my YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm going to introduce another series of tutorials in mathematics. And this is going to be my first tutorial in mathematics review, the divisibility rule. This is going to be a supplemental materials for my previous let review series. So let's proceed. I'm going to discuss the importance and the use of the divisibility rule. This is under arithmetic. This is a basic fundamental of mathematics. All right, so divisibility rule is a shorthand way of determining whether a given integer is divisible by fixed divisor without performing the division, usually by examining its digits. This concept was taken from Wikipedia. So, in other words, if in layman's term, divisibility rule is just if you have a number x and if that number is divisible by another number, let's say y, we can divide x by y or without the remainder. So if you're going to divide a number to another number without any remainder, that number is said to be divisible by a certain number. All right, so for example, we have a number 10. So is 10 divisible by 2? If you're going to divide 10 by 2, the answer is 5. So therefore, there is no remainder. That means 10 is divisible by 2. Okay. Another example is 20 divisible by 4? Yes, by inspection, it is. Because if you're going to divide 20 by 4, the answer is 5 also, which is also divisible by 4. 20 is divisible by 4, so therefore the answer is yes. What about 8? Is 8 divisible by 3? If you're going to divide 8 by 3, the answer is 2 point something. So that means 8 is not a divisible number. It's not a divisible number for number 3 because it has a remainder. So this is basically the concept of divisibility rule. So in a small number, we can easily detect or we can easily determine the divisibility of a number. However, if a big number is given, there must be a rule in order for you to easily determine if the big number or if the given number is divisible by a certain number. That is why the divisibility rule was created in order for us to easily determine if the number is divisible by a certain number. So the first rule in divisibility rule is divisibility rule for 2. If a certain number is divisible by 2, this is the rule. A number is divisible by 2 if the last digit is even number. So by just simply looking at the last digit of a given number, even if that number is very big, we can easily determine if that is divisible, or you can easily determine that the number is whole number by just simply remembering or memorizing this rule. For examples, number 1, 264. By simply looking at the last digit 4, and we all know that 4 is in an even number, so therefore 264 is divisible by 2. if you're going to divide 264 by 2, the answer is a whole number, 132, without any remainder because of this rule. Another one is 492. So just simply looking at the last digit, number 2, we can easily say that 492 is divisible by 2 because 2 is an even number. And if the number is divided by 2, we can arrive at the whole number. The same is true with 33,410. 0 is an even number. So if we're going to divide that by 2, we will arrive at 16,705, which is a whole number. And so on and so forth. So this is rule number 1 for divisibility for 2. The next is the divisibility rule for 3. A number is divisible by 3 if the sum of its digit is multiple of 3. So this is the rule. A number is divisible by 3 if the sum of its digit is multiple of 3. So number 1 is we need to get the sum of the given digits, and it should be multiple of 3 if you're going to divide it by 3. For example, so I have 3 examples here. Number 1, 3 to 1. The rule says that we need to get the sum of its digits. So the sum of its digits is 3 plus 2 plus 1, and that is equal to 6. If you're going to divide 6 by 3, we will arrive at a whole number, which is, so therefore, 6 is divisible, or 6 is a multiple of 3. Another example, 936. So divisibility rule number 3, just get the sum of its digits. 9 plus 3 plus 6 is equals to 18. So 18 divided by 3 is equals to 6. That means 18 is a multiple of 3. So therefore, 936 is multiple or divisible by 3. For example, 491. Get the sum. 4 plus 9 plus 8 is equals to 21. Is 21 divisible or multiple of 3? Yes, it is. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So, therefore, 498 is a multiple of 3 or divisible by 3. Because if you're going to divide 21 by 3, you come up with a whole number which is 7. Another example is 248. So, first you have to get the sum. 2 plus 4 plus 3 is equals to 9. Is 9 divisible by 3? Yes, definitely. It is a multiple or divisible by 3. So therefore, 243 is divisible by 3. So that is rule number 2 for number 3. Divisible rule for 3. Next is divisibility rule for 4. A number is divisible by 4 if the last 2 digits are divisible by 4 or ends with 0. The last 2 digits, that means the 1's digit and the 10's digit should be divisible by 4. Or if the number ends with 00, the last 2 digits. For example, 1024. The last 2 digits divisible by 4? 24 divided by 4? Yes. Because if we're going to divide 24 by 4, the answer is a whole number. So therefore, 1024 is divisible by 4. It's a multiple of 4. By just simply looking at the last 2 digits, 16 is divisible by 4? Yes, because if you're going to divide 16 by 4, it is 4. So therefore, 2016 is a multiple of 4, all divisible by 4. Another one is 36. So 36, is it divisible by 4? Yes, because 36 divided by 4, remember, last two digits are divisible by, we need to test. If the last two digits is divisible by 4, then the number is divisible by 4 or multiple of 4. Last one is 7,000. Is 7,000 divisible by 4? According to the rule, if the number ends with 00, it is divisible by 4. 7,000 divided by 4 is 1,750. So that is divisibility rule for 4. So we need to remember that one. Divisibility rule for 5. The divisibility rule for 5, if the last digit is 0 or 5. If the last digit is 0 or 5, for example, 255, the last digit is 5. So therefore, if you're going to divide 255 by 5, if the last digit is 0 or 5, 51, the number is divisible by 5. 0 and 5. So this is also divisible by 5. 0 and 5. So this is just self-explanatory. Just remember, a number is divisible by 5 if the last digit is 0 or 5. Divisibility rule for 6. A number is divisible by 6 if it is divisible by 2 and 3 rule. So in order for you to determine if the numbers or if the number given is divisible by 6, you need to remember the divisibility rule for 2 and 3. Okay, for example, is 252 divisible by 6? So we need to test first. According to rule number 2, if that is an even number, if the last number is an even number, that is divisible by 2. And rule 3, according to rule 3, we need to get the sum. The sum is 9 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So if these two rules are satisfied, then the numbers is said to be divisible by 6. So 252 divided by 6 is equals to 42. If rule number 2 or rule number 3 does not satisfy the condition of divisibility rule for number 6, then the numbers is not divisible by 6. So for example, 294. Again, apply rule number 2. The last digit is 4. It's even, so that is divisible by 2. Rule number 3, get the sum. If the sum is the multiple of 3, 15 divided by 3 is multiple of 3, so it satisfies the two rules. So therefore, the given number is divisible by 6. 294 divided by 6 is 49. So you have to test first the two rules before you determine the divisibility rule for of a number by 6. Divisibility rule for number 7. For number 7, divisibility by 7, if the difference of twice the last digit, okay, if the difference of twice the last digit, so if you have last digit, multiply that by 2, and then subtract it from the remaining digits, that is divisible by 7. Again, if you have a given number, for example, you have a given number, if the last digit multiplied by 2, the answer should be subtracted by the remaining number, which is 85, then that number is said to be divisible by 3. For example, the last digit is 3. Twice that number is 6. Subtract 6 from 85. 85 minus 6 is equals to 79. So that means if you satisfy this condition, that means 853 is said to be divisible by or not divisible by 7. 79 is not divisible by 7. So the inter number 853 is not divisible by 7. From these two conditions, if you did not satisfy the divisibility 7, then the inter number is not divisible by 7 because 79 is divided by 7 is not a whole number. Okay. Another example for number 7. So the last digit multiplied by 2, that is 4. And then subtract 4 from 1,000, the remaining number 1,782 minus 4 is equals to 1,778. And then proceed to the same process until such time that the numbers will equal to 1 digit. So again, 8, apply the rule, 8 times 2 is 16, and then multiplied it to the subtract it from the remaining number. 177 minus 16, this is 161. Still, there's a 3 digit, so the last digit is multiplied by 2 again, and then subtract from 16. Okay, so we have to stop here because we only left 1 digit. So 16 minus 2 is 14. Is 14 divisible by 7? Yes. So therefore, the whole number is divisible by 7. So this is the process of divisibility rule for 7. You have to continuously do the steps, multiply the first digit, the last digit by 2, and then subtract it from the remaining number. Continue the process until the last digit, and stop until you reach the last digit of the number. In this case, 161. The remaining digits are 16, so you have to stop that one because if you're going to multiply it by 2, and then 12 cannot be subtracted from the smaller number. So that's why you have to stop if you already reached 2 digits. Okay, because not 1 digit is not possible to subtract from the given large number. Okay, so 14 is divisible by 7, so the inter number 178 or 17,822 is divisible by 7. That is divisibility rule for 7. Divisibility rule for 8. For 8, the number is divisible by 8 if the last 3 digits are divided by 8 or ends with 00. So in divisibility for 8, just simply inspect the last 3 digits, the ones, tens, and hundreds digits. If they are divisible by 8, for example, the last digit is 104. If you are going to divide it by 8, you can test if it is divisible by 8, if the answer is whole number. Number 2, 76,000, since the last digit ends with 00, the numbers are divisible, or the number is divisible by 8. 248,000, last 3 digits, you have to divide it by 8. If you will arrive at the whole number, the numbers are said to be divisible by 8. Divisibility rule for number 9. The number is divisible by 9 if the sum of the digits is divisible by 9, the sum of the digits. For example, 8,712. Just get the sum. It's like divisibility rule number 3. Just get the sum and then divide it by 9. If the answer is a whole number, that means the sum of the given numbers divide by 9. If you arrive at the whole number, that means the given numbers are said to be divisible by 9. So if you notice the usefulness of divisibility rule, you have to memorize it, you have to familiarize yourself, because if the given number is big and you remember rule number 9, just get the sum of the digits. Just get the sum of the digits and then divide by 9, and then you will determine if the numbers is said to be divisible by 9. 27 is divisible by 9. So if you have a given big number, just apply rule number 9. Get the sum of all the digits and divide by 9. If you will arrive at the whole number, that means the given numbers are said to be divisible by 9. Second to the last, divisibility rule for number 10. A number is divisible by 10 if the last digit is 0. This is a self-explanatory. If you have 0, any number, larger number, if you see a last digit is 0, that is definitely divisible by. The divisibility rule for 11. A number is divisible by 11 if the sum of the digits in the odd places minus the sum of those in the even places of digit is 0, or a multiple of 11. Okay, let's have an example. For example, we have 918,082. The sum, first we need to get the sum of the odd places by simply going to the first digit, 9, and then skip 1. Skip 1, 9, get the sum of the digit places, odd digit places. So these are the odd digit places, 9, skip 1, 8, and then 8. Those are the place under the odd places, because this is 1, 3, 5. Those are the odd places, numbers. So we need to get the sum of it. 9 plus 8 plus 8 is equals to 25. Next is the sum of those in even places. The even places are those remaining numbers. From 1 to 0, 1, 0, 2 are the odd digit places. So we need to get the sum of those even odd place. That is 1 plus 0 plus 2. After that, minus, we need to subtract the sum of the odd digit to the even digit. Therefore, their difference is 25 minus 3 is 22. And then 22, if you're going to divide it by 11, is it a multiple of 11? Yes. Since 11 is a multiple of 22, the number is said to be divisible by 11. Since 22 is divisible by 11, then the given number 918082 is divisible by 11. So this is the final divisibility rule for numbers. In this case, divisibility rule for 11. This is the rule which is a little bit harder, so you need to practice this one. Just get the some of the odd places. Just begin with the first number and then skip the second to get the second odd place number, and then until you arrive at the last odd place and then subtract it from the even number places. All right, so that's it for divisibility rule. This is tutorial number 1. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something from this video. And if you're, again, this is just a supplemental tutorial to my previous video of LET series for multiple choice questions and answers. And I hope you learned something, and just keep on watching, and please like or share the video, and then hit the notification bell so that you will be updated to my future uploads. So see you in my next tutorial. Thank you so much.